This hero has ultimate powers, which stand for the good of the world. Welcome to, Creator 9000, and today I'm doing a different video. I'm doing a special video. This will go on for about 18 weeks, but every Sunday I review a character that I've made up, and today it's Shadow, the man with the gun. Okay. Now I'll show you the picture of him. I drew this just a quick sketch, but I could draw a lot better than this, probably. Yeah, I was gonna make it for good screen place. Okay, never mind that. Sorry about that. But I'll just start with his origin. So, Brian Mikowski always stood up for little kids. And he was extremely good at martial arts, even compared to old martial artists that's been studying it for years. He was extremely good at martial arts. Not for his age, but just extremely good at martial arts in general. And his dad was gone. He always wondered why, but really, his dad was gone so much because he was a super deadly crook and a mercenary, gunsman. So his son didn't know this until one day he robbed a bank downtown. But S.H.I.E.L.D. saw him, and they set up a whole brigade of soldiers with Nick Fury down there, and they ran into him, and his dad and Nick Fury had a draw. His dad lost. Nick Fury won. Got him. Shot him first in the stomach, then the forehead. And his son heard it in his apartment, so he ran down to see his dad lying practically dead on the concrete. Yeah, not pretty. But anyway, his dad told him to not fall into a life of evil, but fair to making him understand. And so after that, they took him away and set up some yellow tape to make sure nobody crosses it. And his mother wanted to see, her husband. So she crossed the tape, and then a drunken cop named Bill Riddles saw her. And Kyle, and then she knocked the gun out of his hand and ran towards, Then he stole a gun from another police officer and shot him, crossing the line and knocking the gun out of his hand. And I just want to say that the mom's name was Mary and the dad's name was Dan. And they only had one son named Brian. But after that, the young man thought that money was the only thing that mattered in life. Nothing else mattered. But he still looked up for kids at school, like Billy, or some other kids. Billy always was staring down at a boy, but he never. Sorry about the background noise. But Brian didn't think that was bad. He thought that he was just, young and would, get more mature and, be tougher. But that same year, his best friend Vic turned out to be one of the worst boys in the entire school. So he stopped their relationship. But he found his new best friend named John. Now, John, I just want to say that Brian wasn't living in an orphanage. He lived by himself, and he was like a kid stealing stuff on the streets. And he lived in his apartment and went to school every morning. But really, his friend John was an orphan. So his friend John was an orphan, and he offered Brian to go to his orphanage. So they went to the orphanage, and he became an orphan. But then Hydra needed some new Hydrinian soldiers. I don't know how to say it. Hydrinian soldiers. So what they did, I was thinking about getting the most toughest and getting the toughest kids at this orphanage where Brian went. And so the Red Skull blew up the orphanage and got the toughest kids. And well, Brian was one of them. And he trained him to be the perfect Hydra soldier. So he became a Hydra soldier, and on a mission to kill the U.S. president, he gave in to helping little kids getting attacked by some thugs, and he decided he actually preferred being good. So at that time, he wasn't the Shadow just yet. He was just wearing a simple range of disguises, masks, to hide his secret identity. And he was fighting Bill Ryder, the man who killed his mom. And he had become a crazy homicidal maniac who was going on a shooting spree, a killing spree through New York City. But then he faced him off, and he got a brutal beating by the homicidal maniac. That made him decide to have a costume, and also he was looking for some powers that he could get somehow. But what he did, Weapon X. Yeah, everybody knows Weapon X. The famous facility that created Wolverine and Mark with the Mouth, Deadpool. Two of the most famous Marvel characters. Weapon X created them. It was a secret. If you don't know Weapon X, which I'm sure you do, Weapon X is a facility, a secret government facility that makes super soldiers. But they've never been able to control them. They've always been too dangerous. After Wolverine and Deadpool, doing that, so the facility decided to just give one last shot at the idea of making super soldiers. So they drafted people in, like they've done again and again. They drafted people in. They asked people to be, like a person who would turn into a super soldier. And one of them, was Brian. And Brian, he went in there and he survived. But it didn't go out of control. It didn't turn him crazy. It worked. It boosted his intelligence to like the max. So he's extremely intelligent. He can run faster than the speed of sound. He could lift a continent with one finger, and he was invincible and extremely he was just and he had already been a great fighter, one of the best fighters in the world. So after that, he confronted the homicidal maniac, And after that, Shadow was born. Yep, Shadow was born. And, yeah. Wait! Come on, Deadpool. You're so annoying at me stuff. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to tell you about the new app. And, okay, I'm sorry. Deadpool is getting a little, crazy like he usually does. You know that? He's crazy. But, yeah, I gotta go in just a second. He's, working on something. Yeah, just let me finish this. Hey, Deadpool, let me finish this. Okay. Just come on, man. You know, I'm a... Okay. All right, he's gone. I'll just finish this. Okay, about his weapons. Okay, so... well, Shadow has a range of weapons. They're all guns. Well, he does use grenades and very rarely kendo sticks. But his main weapons are guns. He has machine guns, hail guns, any type of machine gun. He sometimes, kind of rarely, uses a sniper rifle. He usually uses these two automatic pistols. He has all these different machine guns. And he also keeps them all in his belt, and also on his backpack and some pockets on his costume. Like this pocket here. Like that pocket here. Keeps them all stored away in his backpack, pockets on his shirt, or on his belt. And yeah. And there's one last thing. That's kind of amazing. His jetpack can turn into not a jetpack. His backpack can turn into a jetpack. Pretty cool. So we can fly around Hey, Lego Builder 9000, are you coming? Yeah, just a minute. Deadpool's getting a little useless right now. He wants me to go. But, okay, I'm coming. Okay, I'll see you next Sunday for my next, person. Okay, bye. I'm coming, Deadpool. Jeez.